I always describe to parents that have special needs kids, you kind of go into like two phases of life. You go into your crisis mode where you're just trying to figure everything out and everything's scary and you just are completely overwhelmed with everything. And then you go into this kind of maintenance mode and you accept the struggles and figure out how to conquer them the easiest way that you know how to make each day just that much smoother. There's never a dull moment in this house. There are 5 of us in my family. We have myself, my husband Bobby, JJ is the oldest and he's 15, and Lexi, his sister, is 12. And then we have Chase, who is 9. And they're all very, very, very close. They love their brother, for sure. I could talk about JJ all day. When he was born, we obviously had no idea that he was going to be special needs. Everybody had their own opinion of what was going on. There was neurological, genetic. A lot of doctors were like, there's nothing wrong. He's just a little bit slower. They thought he would never sit and he would never come as far as he's come and he would never stand. He was diagnosed with Bainbridge-Roper's syndrome, which is super, super rare. There are only, I think, between like 100 to 200 in the world that have been diagnosed with it. We're just like every other parent. You just love your kid, and really JJ's no different than our other 2 kids. He requires more assistance, but you still give them the same amount of love. You still push them to meet their potential. I think the biggest obstacle I face in being JJ's mom is ways to make him happy, have the best quality of life that he possibly can have, and to meet all of his potential. So my husband and I have always talked about wanting a service dog for him. We had talked to a bunch of organizations that kind of told us he either wasn't old enough or couldn't talk or not high enough functioning, which to me is bizarre. And then a friend of ours, she fosters service dogs and would bring her service dog over when she babysat JJ. And just seeing how well they got along and he accepted and kind of melted into the dog. And I thought to myself, wow, it feels really great just to know there's that extra layer of just love there and relaxation for him that we kind of knew right away when we met her that this would be a route to go. And the process actually, it went really smoothly. We filled out the applications, we did the, interviews. And then last Friday when we got the email, it was like 4:00 in the afternoon, and my daughter was just getting home from school, and my husband was out mowing the lawn, and I ran outside of the picture. I'm like, this is her. That's, I think, for us when everything became super real. I can't express how excited we are to see how much they bond and just kind of watch it develop and unfold and find out the 8 million other benefits and rewards we're going to have from, having her in our life. Like my family is literally having a countdown. I think they literally must have been overlooking into our house and imagining what would be the perfect match for JJ, because they totally hit it. They match your kid perfectly. To a T. She's so laid back. She's gentle. This sounds weird to say about a dog, but she's empathetic. Like she knows if anybody in my family's having a bad day. She just brings a calmness to every situation because she's so chill. She's just like the most relaxed most relaxed dog, because JJ's the most relaxed kid. Every day she surprises me on how much she picks up from him, keeps him calm. One day we came in and he was just having a bad day at school, and she came in and immediately he calmed down. So he knows that is kind of his person. It gives him a sense of security to have her there. The first really big one is, he was at school for probably our first month in, and I always take her to the bus stop with me. And she went down to the bus stop, and as soon as he came down on the lift, and she looked over and then ran up and like put her paws up and just kind of nuzzled him, like to show like, hey, this is my person and I'm excited. I know he's home. So, I mean, all of those things we get excited about. I don't think you can even grasp all of the positive it's going to bring into your life until, you start really getting in deep into the process. After you fundraise, you're in this network, and it's this network of people that you can ask questions to, you can get feedback, you can see other people's journeys and know that you're not the only one that has these struggles. I mean, that's huge to people with special needs kids because it's not a huge community. We are a small, close-knit community, and it's almost like being brought into another family. Just seeing the changes, not only it has with your child, she impacts everybody, and it's so positive. She just brings happiness, and I think Paws just brings happiness. I mean, it's brought so many positives into our life. Being able to get into a store easily, she opens the door for us. Little things that people don't appreciate that don't have a kid in a wheelchair are huge things for us right now. It makes things easier. It's nice to know that he has another comfort besides us that he can look to now. And that's been a huge change for us.